Webb's turned on. He likes it. Look. He's such a champion, even his underwear say it. Look at that. Champion through and through. All the way down to your underoos. Run into a lot of people that will say their shoulder hurts or their elbow hurts or this hurts or that hurts. And first question we always start with is, what are you doing for it? And that's usually when people go, what are you doing about it? So for me, as you guys know, I've had some elbow stuff over the years. Really important key thing for me to do is to warm up the muscles around the elbow. So I do it with movements like this. I'm gonna do a seated row. Seated row will get the bicep, we'll get the forearm. I'll do some hammer curls. So if you're somebody that's watching this right now and you have a shitty shoulder, try just getting a really, really good warm up for your shoulder. Make it really simple. Pick 3 or 4 different movements that you're gonna do and do really high reps. So you can do forward, side, rear, any motion you can think of. You can do some rotator type stuff, but just get the area completely in fuego. Get it on fire before you start your workout for the day, and you'll notice a huge difference in performance. But if you ignore it and never really do anything about it, in my opinion, you're not allowed to bitch about it. Don't talk about shit that you're not trying to fix. This is called the Zotman curl. Palms up on the way up. Palms down on the way down with a slow eccentric. Again, just trying to warm the elbows up. So I'll do a lot of different movements. From different angles. Hammer curl. Hammer curls out wider. High rep. Not concerned about the weight. Concerned about getting the area real warm and just burning it out basically. If you're concerned about it fatiguing you for your workout, a big part of this is to make sure that you're not doing too many movements, too excessively, that are directly related to the movement that you're going to do for the day. So when it comes to something like the elbow, I do want to get the tricep warm and I want to get the elbow joint warm, but I don't want to tax the tricep. So weights are going to be really light, reps will be high, and I'm not going to overdo it. I'm not going to do a million sets. I'll do like 2 sets, 3 sets, something like that. Again, getting some different angles. We'll come up higher, come down lower, try some tape presses, try some bench pressing. People very rarely get jacked off of science, you know? They get jacked off of learning through their experiences. I don't think Arnold Schwarzenegger spent a lot of time looking at studies and shit like that, right? Those things can be effective, they can help lead to other things, but just get moving. Don't worry about exactly what's right. Go by how it feels and learn your body. Already a huge reduction in pain. One of the greatest painkillers you can ever take is to move. It's a good RX for health in general, a good prescription for your health. Go to the doctor and you got high blood pressure, They should tell you to stop being such a fat fuck, and they should tell you to go for a walk rather than giving you drugs. They should prescribe you exercise. They should prescribe you a diet. Diet and exercise can solve everything, in my opinion. Time to go bench.
Oh, you took both of them off?
Yeah. I want it right here. You feeling that?
Guardita sphincter.
Feel that?
Sphincter.
I will in a minute. Look at this.
Yeah.
It's at least a
If
C.
it was me, he'd be pissed off.
That's a C. Webb's turned on. He likes it. Look. He's such a champion, even his underwear say it. Look at that. Champion through and through. All the way down to your underoos. This is not muscle mass, ladies and gentlemen. This is called gynecomastia.
Synthetic rubber.
That's fucked up. Oh my god. Oh, you are a power bear. I'm a little sensitive there, right? It's like you've been holding your breath underwater. I was underwater. Shoulders on it.
I got deep tissue everywhere. So I'm probably have to lower the take quarters off.
Where's Slinger?
I'm gonna come in here.
Do that.
I'm just gonna come squat. And I'm just gonna walk away.
Super training, you don't know to wear slinger?
It's okay, man. You can see it later. I'll show you on video check.
I'll Skype you, bro. I'll Skype you, bro.
Ah! Okay, give me a little hoist. Yeah. There we go. Thank you, sir. You're welcome. 1, 2, 3.
2 chains.
This is my little homeless shopping cart where I got all my tools here to help me get through my workout. I'm getting kind of old, so I need a lot of stuff. But I got wraps and I got elbow sleeves and knee sleeves. Hammy bands help protect the hammy during some deadlifts and squats. And then I got these Biggie compression cuffs, which I wore on my elbows today. I'm not in a lot of pain, but as I always say, you know, protect yourself before you wreck yourself. I also love wearing a belt when I bench press. I know that I sell a lot of these products. You guys are like, oh great, he's trying to sell me more shit. I am, but I was put on this very earth to make the world a better place to live, and I can't make the world a better place to live if you guys are all jacked up and hurt all the time. So a lot of these products help keep me safe during the workout. My wrists don't hurt particularly, but I wear wrist wraps. Can I lift without the wrist wraps? Of course, and sometimes I do. Sometimes I lift without a slingshot, sometimes I lift without elbow sleeves, sometimes I lift without compression cuffs, and sometimes I'll lift without a belt to help promote strength in different ways. But if you want to last for a long time, I've been doing this for 25 plus years, and I still feel good. Yesterday I squatted, I did farmer carry, and I did a bunch of walking lunges in here, and I went and did a trail run with my boy Smokey yesterday. I'm really sore today, but the point is I'm able to do things now that I was never actually able to do before. I'm getting more athletic. I'm getting in better shape. A lot of you have commented and said I look younger. Probably not younger than a lot of you, but I look younger than I did before when I was super fat. So the objective and the goal is to always get better. If you're not getting better, you're getting worse. And one way to ensure that you're going to always get better is to not get hurt, not get injured, not get sidetracked, and not fall off your horse.
1, 2, 3, up, out, release.
Chains help to accommodate resistance. I've been saying this for the last 11, 12 years or so. Weights are lighter at the bottom and heavier at the top. We have an equal amount of chain on the bar as we do bar weight right now. About 205 pounds of bar weight, and there's about 200 pounds of chains. some raw lifters and some people that are really good at programming and some people that are smarter than myself have said for raw powerlifting, they like to use less accommodating resistance. So they typically will only use like a chain or two, a much smaller percentage. This is about, it's about 200 pounds of chains, like I said. Normally, I think most people would only want a small amount of accommodation, maybe 20 pounds or 30 pounds, somewhere in there. Mike Teixeira talks about it quite a bit. Check out some of the stuff he's doing. But really what it does, the reason why we're doing it is it helps to promote explosive power. It helps us to drive into the bar and basically produce more force, trying to teach us to be faster, basically. A lot of times when we miss lifts, it's not only because we're not strong enough, it's also sometimes because we didn't move the weight fast enough. So here we go.
Go! Come on, Mark. Lock in, let's go.
Hit!
Come on. Up, up, out! There you go. One more.
Woo! That was a doozy.
1, 2, 3, up, out.
Alright, it's all good, yep.
Another thing that's going on here with the chains or with the usage of bands, with the weights being lighter at the bottom, you can utilize this in your training anytime you're hurt or banged up. Now the bands sometimes, for lack of a better term, sometimes they're kind of violent on your body and sometimes they kind of beat you up. The chains is a little bit more related to straight weight and it can be a little bit more comfortable, but I understand you can't always drag chains into your commercial gym, but you can simply bring in some bands very easily. By accommodating the resistance and having those weights be lighter at the bottom, if you're suffering from a shoulder injury, a pec injury, or an elbow problem, having the weight be lighter at the bottom feels more comfortable. And you can basically, as your body is getting into a more favorable position, at the bottom of a bench press is the least advantageous position that there is. The bottom of a squat, same thing. For most people, some people are a little different, but for most of us, the bottom position of a bench press or a squat is kind of the hardest spot that there is. So we're in the least advantageous position. While we're in that position, the weight is becoming deloaded or unloaded, much like the slingshot. That's why the slingshot works so well for a lot of people, is because it dissipates, it removes, it takes some of that weight off of your shoulder when your body is in the worst mechanical position. As you get into a more favorable position, as you go to press through the weight, more and more chain or more and more band tension will pile up on the bar. And it will help also not only promote speed and force production, but it will also help promote a good strong lockout. You know how we get that weight off our chest a lot of times, unless you're an idiot and use way too heavy a weight, you'll get pinned, right? We can almost always get the weight off our chest, but it's hard to try to transition through the second part or the finishing part of the lift. And so bands or chains can really help a lot with that on the bench, on the squat, and on the deadlift. Give it a shot. Training session here at SuperTraining Gym once again. It feels good to be back in the States, and it feels good to be back at SuperTraining Gym, my home away from home. Got some good squats in yesterday with the team. That felt really good, and I'm really sore from that workout. Got in some good benching today. My bench is very far off of the strength that I want it to be, but that's what I'm in here working for. The goal from years and years ago, from when I was in my prime of powerlifting, is the same as it is today. The same goal. The goal is to get better. The goal is to have one foot go in front of the other, and the goal is to be consistent and be ferocious and be tenacious and try to make myself, force myself to be better. At this time, I'm weaker than I have been. I take less stuff than I used to. You can read between the lines on that. I'm typically eating less. I weigh a lot less. The So therefore, the weights that I move around will be a lot less for a little while. Not too concerned with traditional squats and deadlifts. Mixing things up with some other types of lifts when it comes to squats and deadlifts, such as box squats, trap bar deadlifts, farmer's walks and stuff. Still trying to get some bang for my buck, and still trying to train a lower body because I ain't no pussy. Yesterday I got in another good running session. Today I feel a little too sore to try to pile on another running session on top of that. So I'll probably try to run tomorrow. I'm trying to run every other day along with the lifting. But in the goal to keep getting better and better, I want to get down to about 220, 225, somewhere in that range, and try to basically stay below 230 pounds for a while. I weighed 239 this morning. Very easy and obtainable goal. It'll be a little bit tough doing that while I'm trying to get stronger at the same time and while I'm running at the same time, but I will get it done. Strength is never a weakness. Weakness is never a strength. See y'all later.